Welcome. Take a slow, conscious breath and allow yourself to become still. Today I invite you into one of the most misunderstood and at the same time one of the most sacred principles of spiritual transformation. The principle of sacrifice. This initiation is called the Great Sacrifice. But what means sacrifice really? For many people the word carries heavy associations: loss, suffering, punishment, or even fear. History has shown us many distorted expressions of sacrifice, especially in religious traditions where offerings were made to appease divine powers. Yet the deeper spiritual truth is very different. The divine does not demand sacrifice. Life does not require suffering to be worthy. Higher spiritual intelligence seeks cooperation, not appeasement. True sacrifice is not about giving something valuable away to please a higher power. True sacrifice is about releasing what no longer serves life. Everyday life, we already understand this principle intuitively. When you give up unhealthy habits for the sake of health, when you leave comfort to grow stronger, when you let go of short-term pleasure for long-term fulfillment, you sacrifice something lower for something higher. And this is exactly the spiritual meaning of sacrifice. It is the conscious choice to release limitation so that greater life can emerge. In the deepest spiritual sense, the greatest sacrifice you can ever make is the sacrifice of your inner darkness. Negative thoughts, destructive emotional patterns, old wounds, accumulated suffering, karmic burdens, limiting beliefs, energetic blockages. All of these form layers that obscure the natural radiance of the soul. They are not your essence, they are temporary formations, experiences that once served learning, but now seek transformation. When you consciously release them, you do not lose anything essential. Instead, you become free. As the teaching expresses beautifully, when dark clouds are driven away, the sun does not need to be created, it simply shines. This initiation guides you through a sacred symbolic process of purification. You enter a temple, a space representing the inner sanctuary of transformation. At its center burns a holy fire, a violet flame, the fire of Akasha, the primordial spiritual fire of purification and transmutation. Fire has always symbolized transformation, but this is not physical fire. It does not burn the body, it burns illusion, it burns suffering, it burns the residues of the past. You bring your burdens, your pain, your fears, your blockages, and consciously offer them into the sacred flame. And then something profound happens. You enter the fire yourself, not to be harmed, but to be purified. Old layers dissolve, energetic residues are released, karmic imprints are transformed, the accumulated dust of experience is washed away. Like removing worn garments, you release what you no longer need, and you emerge renewed, symbolically clothed in white, the sign of purity, clarity, and spiritual rebirth. This is not imagination for its own sake. It is a structured inner process of energetic release and psychological transformation. Many who practice this initiation experience profound inner lightness, emotional relief, mental clarity, deep inner peace, and a renewed sense of freedom. because purification is always the first step of growth. Without purification, development is obstructed. With purification, life begins to flow again. Healing becomes possible. Vitality returns. Purpose becomes clearer. Joy becomes accessible. Why does this initiation matter in our modern life? Because modern human beings carry enormous psychological and emotional burdens, often unconsciously. Stress, trauma, unresolved conflict, internalized negativity, inherited patterns. People try to move forward, but carry heavy weight within. This meditation offers a conscious way to release that weight, to transform suffering into wisdom, to transform limitation into possibility, to transform burden into freedom. This path is for those who feel that something within them is ready to be released, for those who sense that growth requires letting go, not accumulation, for those who wish to purify their inner life so that their true nature can shine unobstructed. This initiation is not symbolic ritual alone. It is an inner passage, a movement from darkness to light, from burden to freedom, from fragmentation to clarity, from limitation to spiritual vitality. It is a gateway of purification, a preparation for all higher stages of awakening. If your heart feels called to this sacred release, you are warmly invited to receive the full initiatory meditation through 4Mystics, and to continue your spiritual path within 4Mysticus. Where purification, transformation, and inner mastery unfold step by step. Let go consciously, release willingly, and allow the great sacrifice to reveal your true radiance. In love, light and service, Ray del Sol.